And we are live with Politico.com, the site for the most political podcast on the internet. You guys are listening to the most political podcast ever. We have background noises. If you are listening to this, it means you're very educated and really smart. So you should give yourself a pat on the back. This actually is not the most political podcast. This is the most apolitical podcast. Is that the opposite? How come it's apolitical and not unpolitical or impolitical? Wait, is it unpolitical? Why are all these noises going on in the background? Every time I start Audacity. That is what I use. I don't know what happened, but I think I need to update my driver or something. Sometimes if my audio interface, maybe the audio interface is broken. I don't really know. Sometimes it's broken. And sometimes it won't let me play, or I'll be playing songs on Spotify and it'll just keep skipping all the songs. Or I try to play a YouTube video or a Twitch stream and it says error, audio renderer error, and then I have to restart the computer, and it's really annoying. And this is the difficult life that I have to deal with. So you should all really feel bad for me. You may have noticed, hopefully. I wonder if I have any blind viewers. If you're a blind viewer, well, I guess if you're a blind if you're blind and you consume this channel, well, how do you do it? That's always interested me. How come all the words have to do with viewing? Like, I was gonna say a viewer, but you're not a viewer. You're a consumer. You're a listener. Okay. Oh yeah, you should have noticed by now that there's Apex Legends sick gameplay going on in the background, and that is why today's episode is called Apex Legends Buy or Nah, even though it's a podcast. But actually, I'm not really gonna only talk about that. I was gonna also talk about. Oh wait, this is what we're off to a cracking start where I don't remember anything. So let me write. I did this before on a podcast because if not, I just forget to do things. So Apex Legends, I want to talk about that. I want to talk about everyday video, #grind, and I think that's pretty much it actually. And then I was just gonna kind of make up 42 minutes. That's how long I have to go, 42 minutes, because that's how long the gameplay is. Yeah, so let's talk a little bit about Apex Legends, then I'll talk about what I really wanted to talk about and what I was going to make this podcast titled, but then I realized, hey, that's not going to get as many views. And today is the last day of my 2-week uploading everyday journey, which I actually did. And I did not believe I was going to. And I'll tell you how I feel about that in just a little bit. But Apex Legends, it's in the background. It's the new game. It's been out for about 2 weeks now. Funny story about Apex Legends. I haven't really played too much of it. I played a lot yesterday on stream for like 4 hours. But aside from that, in total, I'd probably played like 2 hours, maybe 2.5, just because I've been busy uploading every day and working, like my actual job. So I haven't had a lot of time to do that, playing Apex Legends. But I sat down and just played it on stream. The thing is, if you play it on stream, you actually get better, because this is the thing about streaming. When you reach a certain point in streaming, playing the actual game is more difficult on stream. Like, I'd say for me, I play better when I'm not on, considering all my concentration levels the same and everything else like that. I play better when I'm not on stream if I'm playing FIFA, because I've played it so much. Sometimes I'll play better on stream if I'm not going to be focused if I'm not on stream, like I'm listening to a podcast. But if I'm just focusing solely on the gameplay, I play better off stream, because I'm usually looking at chat trying to make sure no one's saying the N-word or something ridiculous. But at the very beginning, this is the same of Fortnite, because I'm not the kind of person who wants to know every little detail. Like, I don't look all the details up about a game and then play it. I kind of just play the game, and then as questions pop up in my head, like, what does this thingy do? Or what's the best way to do this? Then I look it up, or I'll watch the streamer do it. But when I noticed that yesterday on Apex Legends, I had no idea what guns to use. And then I ran by the wingman, I don't know how you pronounce it. And I just kind of bypassed it because I assume pistols are bad. That's just what I assume. But then Kanechi, I think that was Kanechi who said it. He said, "Hey, pick up the wingman," and I thought I might as well because I've had like 0 kills with all these other guns, and so I picked up the wingman. And then that same game, I got like 5 kills with the wingman alone. Ended on 7 total and got the dub. I won the game for my team, and now the wingman is my favorite gun in the game. I don't know why, but it just is. I think in terms of my aiming, I'm not very good at aiming in terms of twitching. I don't know how the different... I've only played first-person shooter, I guess mouse and keyboard, not even first-person shooter because Fortnite isn't. I've only played those games since Fortnite, so like January of 2018. I had CSGO. I don't know if SpaceBread watches these, but SpaceBread, I did a couple streams when I first got this computer with CSGO, and they were fun, but I'm so bad at that game. I'm not terrible with the AWP. Like, the AWP is the only gun I'm decent with, but so many people are just incredible and they've been playing that game for a long time that I'm not very good at it. So there's such a steep learning curve, I'm not too interested in playing it. But aside from that, and I played a little bit of PUBG, not too much mouse and keyboard. I played Call of Duty on the controller. I forgot my water. And yeah, I would say my aim has gotten a lot better since I bought Kovacs, which, if you don't know what Kovacs is, it's an aim trainer, and it is incredible. Like, my twitch has gotten better in terms of, like, I don't know what you refer to it, snapshots or wrist flicks? I think it's called flicks, actually. But my tracking is actually decent. The thing, why I'm good with the AWP and why I'm good with the wingman, which is like a revolver, is because if you give me just one shot, I can kind of... It's not like a flick shot, like an up-close flick shot with a shotgun. I'm not good at that at all, like in either Fortnite or in Apex Legends. That's why I'm never going to be like a professional Fortnite player, even though I think I have a pretty good game sense, and my building is alright, and my tracking is okay. Because there's so much shotgun gameplay in that, I don't think I'll ever be that good. But in Apex Legends, you have more options. That's the thing though, with you just have to get one hit, and you can get a little bit of a distance. When I usually get overwhelmed, so I'll like rush into something and then people will shoot me from all sides, and then I'm like freaking out and trying to aim and like shoot 2 people, and then I'm focusing on the other person, and then my aim is off. So I like to stay back a little and take shots from distance. But what are my thoughts on Apex Legends? Is it a buy or not? Well, it's free, so you should. It's a trial. Just try it out. This is the least cost intensive. Least cost intensive. I don't think that's a word. Buy or not ever, because you should just download it if you're like, I don't know if I should, because it's free. It's like Fortnite, and I'm really happy that that's the way that things seem to be moving. In terms of Fortnite being free, you had Call of Duty, which was not free. It was $60. It was doing pretty well the first like week or two, but nowhere near what Apex Legends is doing. And it's because that game was $60, and they're just gonna create a new one next year. I don't understand. Like, it seems weird that you see the success that Fortnite has and is continuing to have, and then you decide, hey, you know what? We're just gonna steal their game mode, but we're gonna charge $60, and it's gonna be like pretty much the same thing. Like, it's not how you do it. I even tried to play that. I tried to like trial it. So I watched an hour of Ninja's stream, whenever that was, right when it was about to come out. No, it was actually when the beta was out. And then I watched the stream for an hour, and I'm like, all right, finally I get to try this game out. And then it just like, I never got the code, and I couldn't play it. I'm like, what was the point of this? So that was what everyone was praising Respawn. I believe it's Respawn. Everyone was praising them about. There were no bugs that were major, like no major bugs. I can't even think of a bug. Actually, there's one bug I can think of where sometimes your gun won't shoot and you have to drop it and pick it back up, but that's never actually happened to me. I've only seen it happen to like one streamer. No huge bugs, no crashes. It did take a little bit of time to get into games, which is weird because of considering how many millions of people are playing the game. So that was one thing, but overall it was like one of the best starts ever. It's a better connective server a better user experience for a free game than for a $60 EA FIFA game. Like, that just blows my mind. The thing about why I like Apex Legends and why I like these games so much more than FIFA is because in FIFA, it's like you're playing a game to try to make the computer not screw up what you're trying to do. Just random movements that you're not controlling. It's so obnoxious. I complained about FIFA all last stream, so I don't want to do it again. But it's not like you're having success from like decisions you're making. You're having success if you're able to amend the errors that the AI makes, or if you get lucky. I'm so glad I don't stream Weekend League anymore. I just got so annoyed. I'm going to Gold 3 from now on, I think. Unless I get someone, even if I do get someone though, I always say if I get someone in my Weekend League rewards, which you're probably not going to ever get, like if I got a Pele, maybe I would play all 30 games if it's really fun to use Pele. But I have like a Ben Yedder, and I figured out how to use Ben Yedder, and he's really good, and he owns everyone, and he has 99 agility and 95 composure and all these crazy stats. But the game just itself is not fun. Part of the reason, because you're playing so many high-rated players, but mostly because of what I just said. Apex Legends, let's talk about that though. Let's compare it instead of FIFA, because that's just a stupid comparison. Compare it to Fortnite. I don't know which game I prefer. Actually, I'd say I prefer Apex Legends, but there are a couple things that I don't necessarily like about it. And it's not things that I should... This first thing that I'm going to talk about, I shouldn't really complain. It's more my own fault, if anything. But I prefer playing Battle Royale games by solos as opposed to in teams. Maybe duos would be fine, but part of it is because I don't really have people who I always like to play with. But most of it is because I don't always like squadding with randoms. Because I was playing a squad with a random today. Two guys, and I could just immediately tell that it was gonna be like one of those angry guys. So it was actually kind of funny because I started trolling him. But so we drop, and the way you drop is you're all together. So I don't actually have to control anything. I just follow where the main guy goes. But so he didn't mark where he was going on the map, but he hot dropped, so he dropped immediately, and I thought he was going to the first spot. I was like, oh, I guess this is one of those guys who wants to just get into the fight. And so I broke off because I don't want to I broke off because I don't want to follow into the same spot. Like I probably broke off a little too soon. I should have waited a little bit longer, but then I was following them anyway. Like I was right next to him. There was no problem. And then the guy just goes, "You effing idiot, we're not landing there. You must be effing stupid if you think we're landing there." I'm like, what? Why are you so aggressive? I don't feel like talking on the mic either because I just don't trust these people unless I'm trolling them. So then anyway, I was like, all right, this guy's a douche. I'm gonna troll him. And so then I followed them anyway. There was like no issue at all, but he's like still making these stupid remarks on the microphone. I'm like, all right, dude. So then he opens one of the supply containers and I just swoop in and steal everything. Like, I was nowhere close. I was using Bangalore, I think, so you run a little faster than most people, I think. And so he opens it and he's just like looking at it, what's gonna open, and I just come out of nowhere and just take everything and run. And he goes, "Oh I can't believe you're that kind of teammate, you freaking effing douchebag, man." And I like that made me so happy. I can't even explain how happy it made me. And so from that point on, like I was gonna leave it there. I was like, whatever. I mean, I don't really like to get into these little beefs. I think it's fun to a certain extent, but you can go overboard in terms of trolling. But so I continued on my way, and he just kept like giving me the business over the mic and calling me like so many names that I'm not afraid to say, but if you're younger, I don't want to just like yell at you and curse in your ears. So then I started trolling him even more by like shooting around him. I would kept marking enemy in front of him. I kept walking in front of him, and the worst thing you can do, because I was obviously trolling him, if you're if someone's doing that to you, you probably shouldn't have been mean or like a douche in the first place. But even if you're not, the worst thing you can do is be like, dude, you're not even trolling me. You're not even successfully trolling me. That's what he's doing. And that means that I'm 100% trolling the crap out of him, because I knew I was trolling him so hard. By him saying, you're not even trolling me, that means that I'm trolling him and he can't take it. So I just kept doing all that. Anytime I would empty out my inventory, follow him, and whenever he opened a supply chest, I would just grab everything, even if I didn't even need the stuff. And he's like, dude, you don't even have a shotgun. I hate teammates like you. And I was using like a Mozambique shotgun or something. And then, so I mean, pretty much the same thing. I just kept trolling him over and over again. He kept saying, you're not even trolling me. And then one point, like, we got into a fight, and we ended up killing the team, or he was healing or something. So he was low on health and he was healing in the corner. So then I just jumped on top of him and started shooting in the air. He goes like, I just stood on top of him and started shooting in the air. He goes, dude, are you kidding me? Get out. And the best part about when someone is this angry is you can hear it in their voice. Like, it's not like a, dude, are you kidding me? Come on. Like a disappointment. It's like he's actually mad. This video game means so much. It's not even competitive. It's just a casual game. And so that's why I don't necessarily like playing in squads. Although I do see the benefit of it. Like one of the big things about it is the fact that even if you get thirsted, you can still get picked up and then respawned at a respawn beacon, which I think is a really cool innovation. So that's one thing. The other thing is, I don't think... Maybe my aim just isn't good enough, but as opposed to in Fortnite, although Fortnite with all the explodes, all the splodes that they've added into the game, all the RPGs, all the like spray weapons, deagles, just things to break your builds and build caps, they've kind of made it so you can't do this anymore. But one of the things that first drew me to Fortnite was watching people on stream go 1v4, like solo squads, and just wrecking people and just wrecking entire teams. And I would watch a lot of Hamlin's, and he would do this a ton. And he doesn't do it, he doesn't really play Fortnite as much as he used to, but it would just be so cool to see someone destroy like 8 people by themselves. And in Apex Legends, well, in Fortnite you can't do that too much because of what I mentioned before. You can't do that much now. In Apex Legends, I don't think you can do it at all. Maybe Shroud or like someone really, really good with impeccable aim could do it, but for the most part, if you're running into a group of 3 people, you can't just build and have cover and take them out. You have to take one out, but then you gotta watch out because they might respawn them. I guess then you throw a grenade to try to make sure you full kill them. But in general, I think it's more difficult to do those 4v1s, which shouldn't necessarily be a bad thing, but I think it might lend itself to not being as aggressive in terms of gameplay, because you can't just build your own cover. But then at the same time, I'm thinking about it, you do have way more health, and you can, if you're using someone like Bangalore, you can run away. So I'm kind of changing my mind a little bit on that, but I would say that the fact that, or the most important part, or one of the most important parts about that game isn't necessarily your skill level, but it's more your communication with the team, which is a different aspect and that still counts. It's not like if you just got all the skillful players in football and put them on one team and they had no communication skills, they wouldn't all be great. I mean, if you got a bunch of street ballers who like had crazy dribbling skills, they wouldn't all win. So yeah, I mean, in that sense, I guess that would be more competitive, which could be cool to watch. Like if you hear the one of the coolest things I like to watch in any sport, esport, professional sport, is listening to the communication that teammates have with each other, because it's difficult to communicate what you want clearly, but it's also even more difficult to do so clearly when you're like in the heat of battle and when you're like your adrenaline's pumping and you're focusing on different things. So that's I've kind of changed my mind on that. Do I think it's going to kill Fortnite? No, because I think Fortnite still has the building aspect that you can't really take away. But for anyone who is like not a huge build fan, some people I know don't like building that much. I like building to a certain extent, but then when building becomes the main thing over shooting, then it doesn't interest me as much. I've learned to get better at building, but still, like, you'll come up against people and they'll just build to the sky, and then you're in a build fight, and then you'll die if someone just shoots out your tower or like a plane comes in. So I don't think Fortnite has necessarily helped itself, and I've noticed the numbers. Fortnite has become second or third. There was one day it wasn't even on the front page because of just a bunch of random events and Apex Legends. So I think Apex might have a bigger user base because it's easier to get into. Like, you don't have to have so many keybinds. You don't have to learn all these different keybinds. You don't have to learn like the metas. You don't have to practice your building. But in terms of individual skill, I think Fortnite might still have the edge, but that doesn't necessarily mean it's more competitive, because you do have a bunch of RNG things still in it, like end zone. End zone is just like, you have to hope that you get an easy place to rotate for Fortnite. You have to hope you get a deagle and you can just break through walls and one pump them. You have to hope that you can get to the loot. You have enough wood. You have to hope you get movement, like, no, well, grapple doesn't exist anymore, but rifts and jump pads. So that, I think that at the core of it, Fortnite is more competitive, but because of all the things they've added to the game, I actually think Apex Legends is more of a competitive game. That's weird. This is the Long Transition podcast where he works things out in his head, as opposed to when he just has a thought and then just leaves it there to stew. Okay, so I said I wasn't going to talk about Apex Legends for too long, and I talked about it for 20 minutes. I didn't even talk about all the good things, but I mean, like, the game is really fun. It's very addicting. When I got that win yesterday with seven kills and found out the wingman, I was on stream and I was like, oh my gosh, this game is something. I might stream later tonight, actually. If you're watching this podcast, I might be streaming, so I don't know. Maybe you want to check that out. But the thing about streaming is, I like it, but at the same time, I would never want to be a streamer, I don't think. I used to have this thought, whenever I go to work, well, it doesn't exist still, so I shouldn't say whatever, but when I would go to work, like the first couple of months, I'd be like, you know, instead of this job, I could just go, if I were just a little bit sooner into Fortnite, I could just be a professional streamer, and that'd be awesome. But then I thought, like, I don't want to deal with chat. Dealing with chat isn't that fun. I mean, most of you guys are chill. Most of you guys are cool. But even the one troll, it just bothers me. And it shouldn't, but it just does. Yesterday, I think I might actually like small streams. Like, yesterday's was 30 people. Not too many comments. I like to see, I don't care so much about the viewers, but I like to read the chat. That's why the chat bothers me so much when it's being annoying, because I want to just, even if I had 1 million viewers, if no one was commenting and everyone was just spamming like an emoji or something, I would be like, what is the point of this? I guess if it was a job it would make sense, but if I'm trying to just have fun and stream and interact with viewers or listeners, I don't really care about the numbers. Like, I just want to have a cool chat that I can interact with while I'm playing a video game, because I would be playing the video game anyway, and sometimes it's cool to have people watch you do things. Like, if I had that same 7-kill game and I wasn't showing it to anyone, I'd be like, yeah, that was cool, but you know what, no one else gets to see it, so maybe someone saw that and thought, oh my gosh, this game's really cool, I'll go try it out. So it's whatever the potential the potential impact that one game has being seen by more people, that means more to me than if I just have that really good game and no one sees it, which is weird.
Did y'all land up though?
I think that's what streamers think of, hopefully. It's not just about the views. Sometimes people, I've seen them put in not subscriber mode, but like emoji only mode, or emote only mode, I guess it is. And I thought, what is the point of this? This is awful. You're just having people watch you. I guess if you're really good and you don't feel like reading chat, it's cool, but I don't know. I would be happy with a chill chat who like that doesn't spam stupid things and annoy you. The annoying thing is when you're playing a game and then someone's like, this game sucks, play FIFA. I'm like, no, I just don't want to play FIFA. It was the difference that I had when I finished that stream with Apex Legends yesterday. I felt energized. I felt like that was fun. I can't wait to play it again. Whereas I would finish a Weekend League live stream and I would think, geez, I have to do this again? This game's so stupid. Why am I doing this? And like with all these things that I'm saying, you might be thinking, oh, I wonder if LT's going to quit FIFA. And I'm not saying I won't ever quit FIFA, but at the moment I probably won't, just in terms of because I have so much fun doing singular videos. But being a FIFA streamer, that just doesn't sound fun. Being a FIFA streamer, you have to just open packs. Like that's what FIFA would get on the top. It would be #1 trending for Team of the Year because Castro would just be opening packs. And that, like, I would always think about how that's kind of weird because all you're doing is opening packs. It's not like you're actually playing the game. You're basically gambling and people are watching you gamble. It's not like there's a stream for opening or for scratch lottery tickets or Powerball drawings or something. Maybe there is and I just don't know about it. But that's just kind of weird to me. And I don't really like it because I'm not a huge fan of gambling because I think gambling is super addictive. Like there was a point in my life in college when I would every week, this isn't like the worst thing in the world. I don't think it's terrible to gamble if you can control it, but I could feel like it overtaking me. And I'm not someone who has too many vices. I try to limit whatever vices I have. But every week I would go to the grocery store and I would buy a $5 lottery ticket. And I started keeping track because I was just kind of curious. I don't like lottery because I just think it's gambling and I'm not a fan of gambling. But I would buy the $5 ticket and I think the first time I won, the first time I played, I actually got $25. So I'm like, hey, this might actually not be bad. Thinking about it in my head, it's like, I got $25, so I would have to open 5 of these and I might get something back in those. So maybe this isn't actually the worst thing in the world, even though that's just not how statistics work and I'm stupid if I think that. So anyway, I would play and I kept buying it and I didn't win for like 6 weeks in a row or something. So 5 times 6, $30. I lost my $25. And I was keeping track. I'm like, this is kind of dumb. I'm not winning. And then I played a couple more times and I got up to $50 lost. And I'm like, well, this is just, what is the point of this? And I could feel it like if you don't buy it immediately after you're lost, you're like, you kind of have time to chill out and you think about it and you're like, this is stupid. But the moment that you're scratching it and the moment that you lose, you're like, oh no, I was so close. I might try again. If I try again, that'll give me more chances to do it, right? And then I think I looked up like, how do you win the lottery? What is the strategy to win the lottery? I looked that up, I'm pretty sure. And so anyway, I was like, this is kind of gross. It makes me feel gross. And I'm not trying to shame streamers who open those packs or like YouTubers who do pack openings. I do pack openings sometimes. I don't use my own coins, but like for the Weekend League. But it makes me feel weird. It just makes me feel weird to see someone spend, I think he spent like 400,000 FIFA points or something ridiculous, like $5,000 just on virtual cards that in the span of 5 months, they're pretty much 6 months, they're pretty much done. No one plays the game in the summer anyway. Then you just do it again. Like I've said before, from their perspective, it makes sense if they're making money back because you spend 5,000 but you make 6,000, you get $1,000, it's whatever. But I don't like the fact that you're kind of promoting it. Like you'll find with me, most things don't have to do with money. Most things have to do with the value or the impact that it has on other people usually. And I don't know. I think most people, or at least some people, can understand this thought, but I don't want to see, like, I don't want little kids or even, it doesn't matter your age. I don't want to try to impact people into thinking this is how you have fun by hoping that you get a good player. Like, it's out of your control. You can watch top 100 pack openings. You can watch #1 in the world pack openings, and they'd get absolute garbage. It's like it doesn't matter how well you play in this game.
I punched her.
It's just luck. Everything seems to be luck based, and that's how they keep drawing you in and getting more money. Why did I talk about this for 30 minutes? Okay, everyday video. Welcome to the video games. Hi guys, my name is LongTransaction, and today we're going to be talking about video games. Okay, so in other news, Fortnite released its 7.24 patch. Let's read the patch notes really quick. Why am I making fun of? Why am I doing a gamer voice when I am a gamer? When I bought my Elgato, the really white mom, she goes, "Are you a gamer too?" I thought, Jesus, no, is this what I'm gonna do? And right when she said that, in my head, this was when I was buying my Elgato. If I had not bought that Elgato, I would never have created this channel. Right when I bought that, I thought, do I really want to go through with this? That's so weird to think about. I was about to abandon. I would not be here. You guys would not watch these videos because I was about to abandon that whole thing. I remember right when I saw it, it was $50, and I had no money at the time. It was $50 for an Elgato, the older version, and I thought $50 is actually, I could afford that. Like it's not like I had no money, but $50 was a lot, and I thought I could probably afford that. It's something I'm interested in. But I was like, should I not? Should I email them? It was on Craigslist. And then I eventually did. And then they got back to me. So I'm like, I actually forgot about it after I emailed him. And then he emailed me back and I was like, okay, I guess I should go. But it's so far away. It was like 30 miles away. Not 30 miles, 30 minutes away. And then I got there and then I waited and the guy didn't show up. And I'm like, this is stupid. I'm leaving. But then I gave him like 15 more minutes. And then he said he's on his way. I'm like, fine. And then he wasn't there. So he was like 30 minutes late, and then whatever. The rest is history, though, and we did it. But every day, #grind. I did it. I remembered. The notepad is helpful. I did upload a video every day for 2 weeks. How did I feel after it? I mean, I don't feel as accomplished as I would have, but that's because I have a tendency to not really think back on things, which I should. I should take a moment to reflect. I'd say I didn't upload too many original, I guess, or creative videos. I didn't upload as much as I wanted to, because if I were just to do a player review every day for 2 weeks, it's not that difficult. Like doing a player review, I can do mindlessly. I just have to say a couple magic words, everyone cheers, everyone's happy, and it's whatever. And I'm not saying that's bad. I like to watch things that are familiar to me. It's sometimes nice to just have things that you know what's going to happen. When I eat my lunch every day, I eat the same thing basically, which is chicken and rice. And I don't want something special. I just want chicken and rice. And I feel like that's how some people are with player reviews. They just want to see me make a couple dad jokes. They want to see the player. Maybe it's an interesting player, maybe not. Whatever. See if it's good. See if it'll be for their team. And I respect that. I understand that. But there's only so much as someone who's trying to be creative and trying to be original. There's only so much you can do before it's like, all right, I've done this for like 2 years. About maybe it's time to move on a little. That's kind of weird though. I think we're coming up on about 2 years since I started those player reviews, which it wasn't actually called Buy or Not when I started, but it was my final semester in college. And I remember the first player review, I was editing it while watching 60 Minutes, which I never watched 60 Minutes. I don't think I've ever watched 60 Minutes except for that one time, which is very weird. But it was about the Japanese baseball player Shohei Ohtani. I think it's Shohei. I don't even know if that's his name. But the guy for the Angels who's a striker, who's a pitcher and a good designated hitter, and he hits home runs. So he's basically Babe Ruth. And this was like he was still in Japan, and they were talking about him, and he was like all mythical. And now he's in the major leagues, and he's had a full season, and he was good. And it's weird to think about, like, that seems like it was not too long ago, and then you put it in perspective next to someone's baseball career, and it's only been a year, but he's pretty much established himself, whereas back then he was like a mythical creature basically, and now he's just the Japanese guy for the Angels who plays. And I don't know why I'm comparing these two things, but it's weird how comparing your time to someone else's time That just, it kind of freaks me out. Also, I wonder if he's younger than me. Oh no. Oh no, wait, is he younger than me? Shohei Ohtani. No, he's not. Okay, good. How dare you? How dare you almost be younger than... Stop it. Okay, so anyway, posting a video every day. Part of the reason why I was kind of scared to... Like, I always have these videos, and I think people didn't realize that I have 2 other channels. One is called LongTransaction Vivo, and it's for any music-related stuff. And then one is Extra Long Transaction, and it's for these podcasts. I've been putting podcasts like these on there. But based off the fact that people are like, you should do more of these in terms of both my music cover and the podcast, I'm assuming most people didn't know I had those, which I guess is marketing on my part. I shouldn't market it, but or I should market better. But at the same time, I don't want to be like in every video, hey guys, go to my other channel where I do this. So when I originally created those separate channels, it was because I thought if I do FIFA only on this one, and then I have podcasts on the other, and I have music on another one, if you're interested in that, you can go there. But I don't want to make everyone who's like, I like his FIFA, but his other stuff is annoying, and so I'm not going to subscribe. I didn't want to like have a dissuading factor to my channel, which I think actually does make sense, because you're supposed to, by the YouTube book, but written by no one, you're supposed to be like more niche and focus on one subject. But I don't think I actually want to continue that. While it probably is good for the channel, and it has helped the subscriber count, because people, if they see like random videos, they might not be that interested. But at the same time, I get so much more satisfaction seeing like 1,000 views on that Post Malone cover. By the way, that cover I actually did over a year ago. That cover is from September of 2017, I think, and I posted it on Extra Long Transaction, and I think there were like maybe 40 views or something, and people liked it. So I'm like, and I don't usually listen back to my covers. I usually do it and then I'm done with it. But that one I thought, hey, actually this sounded pretty good. And I did a couple things, like I used multiple microphones and I mixed it a little bit differently. So I like that. I like that that cover. So, I mean, what I'm trying to say is I don't think I should, or I don't think I'm going to refrain from posting different types of content on this channel anymore, because I saw there was a good reaction to it. Like a lot of likes on the Post Malone cover, which kind of, that freaked me out a little bit. I was not expecting that. In the past, I've done something where I posted music on this channel and then I saw a huge dip in subs. Like not just like 1 sub or 2 subs, or like I didn't even notice a change, but like 20, 30 subscribers just suddenly are gone because they're like, how dare you post music? This is a FIFA only channel. And I mean, whatever. Maybe that's also the algorithm or something, like because it's a video that people might not click on, they assume they're bots and they're not interested in the channel anymore, so they unsubscribe them. I don't know, that's just a theory. But not only with that, but with the different types of videos where it was about FIFA, but I didn't have to play it. I was reviewing the dynamic images. I had fun making those videos because I didn't have to play FIFA, to be honest. I didn't have to play FIFA, and I got to just kind of make jokes. And I think people enjoyed it. It's just a fact that not as many people are clicking on it because not as many people are looking up a review of all the dynamic images for the Optimus Prime icons, as opposed to like a player review for Alphonso Davies. So it's just the way it works. But I think what the most important thing, the 2-week grind, hashtag it down below. The most important thing it taught me was you guys, I have a lot of people who support like anything I do, which means a lot, because that's not always been the case. And that it's weird to have a video that I thought, this is a pretty good video, but I'm a little disappointed that like there wasn't that much of a reaction to it in terms of like my music covers. Then I posted on here where there's a wider audience and everyone for the most part enjoys it. A lot of people like it. So I just want to shout out all the people who have subscribed and all the people who like my different content. I'm gonna try to do more. What is okay? I just got a very mean comment. Oh yes, I love these. A very mean comment on the podcast. Can I don't even know if I can read it. Wait, am I allowed to say these words? Oh, this guy just keeps saying I'm disabled. Okay, that's a little bit rude. I don't quite understand that. Yeah. Reading these comments, most people hate FIFA. I'm gonna not post as much FIFA because I'll still post the player reviews. I like the player reviews, but Weekend League doesn't make sense. You guys like the other kinds of videos. I don't like being called disabled. That's kind of mean. I wish that were not. I should probably delete that comment. Why did he type that? Yeah. I'm a little bit shell-shocked about this comment. I believe there is actually other stuff there too, but it didn't show up. If you guys want to squad up on Apex Legends, the Cubs for you to see, DACUBS, 4 the number, U the letter, 2 the number, and then C the letter. That is my gamer tag or whatever you call it. And I'd be happy to squad up with some dudes at any time. I don't know how you add people on that, to be honest. I have no clue. But yeah, that's pretty much gonna do it for this one. I think I have like 20 seconds I'm supposed to kill. Maybe we'll just go to... Maybe we'll just have the thing go on. Actually, no, that wouldn't make any sense. I would need to go longer. The audio would need to be longer than the gameplay, otherwise this would be a little bit weird. So, I got 20 more seconds to kill. I don't think my face cam went out of focus at all this whole time, which I gotta give a quick shout out to my camera guy, Ernesto. I actually found Ernesto today. I had no idea where he was, and then I was upstairs, and he was on the shelf, like he was supposed to be on the shelf. It was really weird. I think someone put him there, and I was like, why are you here? And it was funny because he's a gardening gnome, but he was next to a bunch of clowns. I thought this is a very strange picture. I don't really want anyone else to ever see this. All right, boys. Thank you guys for joining. Hope you enjoyed it. Drop a like, subscribe. See you next time. Don't forget to spare pets.